All right, so here we go. We're gonna start and talk about something brand spanking new. Brand spanking new. Oh, so one random thing that I started thinking about. Yeah, what's up? Is the idea, well, I wouldn't really say idea, it's like the unfortunate occurrence of a car accident. Right, as I see these yellow poles, it reminded me of not the time that I, got into, an issue, right? A certain accident, right? Where your car like hit something, right? And it was a mistake. You messed up. Hey, how's it going? And, it wasn't ultimately me at the wheel, but it was someone, a friend of mine. And I was in that car and I experienced it. And the story goes like this. We were in Publix. We were in the parking lot, going around, and they have one of those upper staircase parking lots, those big parking garages, and they're filled with these yellow poles. That's why I was looking at some yellow poles earlier, and that reminded me of that. And you probably can guess what happened, right? So we were driving through this parking lot trying to get out. Right? We just got our Subway sandwiches, and we were happy. We got our food. Everything was cool. But my friend miscalculated, the speed he was going at and where he was going, and he hit a pole on his way. He crashed into that thing, messed up his car, left a huge dent and everything. And although what you may chalk that down to is like it's a car accident, it happens to everybody, you need that, to learn from that, right? Everybody goes through that. But you could say that without his negligence and carelessness, that he wouldn't have done that, right? And that's why it's so important, to have, the knowledge and experience and learn from other people, when you're doing things like that, when you're going in a car, understanding what it takes to be a good driver, to be a safe driver, to not, be a risk, right? Because that's what it is. It comes down to risk, right? And how well can you manage those risks when you're out there driving? And one way you can do that is by studying the game, studying what it takes to be a good driver, asking your friends about it, right? And older family members especially, right? People with more experience than you, people that have been doing it for quite some time, right? They've been around, and they can probably teach you some amazing things, right? Things you would never guess about that craft, right? Of driving. As simple as that may sound, people may not, take it the most seriously. They may not come, to become experts at it, but regardless, it's a very dangerous thing, right? And people don't realize it. You're risking death every time you go out there. There are many people that receive serious injuries, and catastrophes, happen often when people are behind the wheel of a car. So why, not, focus, on that and become better at it and learn how to master it, before something like that happens to you, to prevent it, right? And learn the necessary action it would take, to not have that happen to you, which you would do by putting in the work to understand it and getting that experience and feedback from other people, right? Because that's what you want. You want people to tell you, you're doing this right, you're doing this wrong, you suck at turning right, you suck at parking. That was my big thing. I couldn't park a car if my life depended on it. And I'll even tell you, like 10 times worse than that was my parallel parking skills, right? And you could even say that, like, why would I need that? Why would that be important? But you never know what could happen, right? What if you parked the wrong way, right? And a policeman could give you a ticket. Someone could bump into you unwillingly, right? And screw up your car. Or you could hit someone else's car by not knowing how to park. So, from that, why not learn how to do that? Why not, work on your weaknesses, right? Because strengths are nice, strengths are fine and dandy. They can make you great livings in this world, right? Get you to places you never could have thought of existed. But, as an old saying goes, is that you're only as strong as your weakest link. You're only as strong, as how bad you are, as the things that you are bad at, right? Those strengths can only go so far. They can only hide the weaknesses to a certain point, but they got to be overcome, by something, which is the work to improve them. That's what it boils down to, right? You can't just, slide by and try to become the best tennis player in the world, right? So you're an amazing tennis player or athlete. But when it comes down to doing something completely different, right? You want to be a librarian in a library. How would that truly help you, in that setting? You'll arguably look very weak, right? You won't know what to do. You won't have the skill set, to be the best librarian. That's not to say that like you always be asked to do that, but if given the case, that's what'll happen. Right? And that may be a funnier example. It may be kind of like off-putting, like how does that make sense? But I hope you get the gist of it, because work on your weaknesses. Don't simply think that because you have it all made in one area, you have it all made in life. And someone will show you up, in a sense, in your weak area, and when you expect it the least, and make you almost look like a fool of yourself, like a dummy, like someone that's incompetent, that can't handle themselves, right? And you won't necessarily want to believe that or think that, but that's what it comes across as. All right, so we took a little bit of a break, man, and we got to make a poopy. Oh geez. Man, I'll tell you, man, when you're running, it's very important, to use the bathroom, when or before you run, not when. You don't want to be doing this while you're running. It slows you down, it hurts you, hurts your time, right? It's just a general annoyance, right? Because you want to be running, you don't want to be using the bathroom, right, while you run, right? It stops you. What is he doing? That guy is crazy, man. So we lost our whole train of thought just to watch that guy go. Man, his thing was super loud and obnoxious. I hope, someone doesn't get put in unnecessary danger because of that, and that he doesn't keep doing that to the point so he gets a ticket. So we'll see though. Who am I to judge that though? But you can't argue with the fact that that's dangerous. It's putting people in danger. But that's you. For him, he probably thinks it's the coolest thing in the world. I'm driving around, super loud, fast. I'm the king of the road. But to others, may not be the same. So, let's see, and we'll go back to what we were talking about as we got a little bit distracted by that maniac, crazy guy driving around. So, whew, let's see, man, it is hot as crap out here. So hot, so hot. Yeah, we're running, and literally, I'd say the apex of the heat within a day, right at 3 o'clock. Oh my God, the heat is out. Whew, the heat is on. I'll tell you that. That old song, the heat is on. That's what we feel out here. And it's good. It's making us better though. It's making us more able to handle those normal situations. And obviously situations like this where it's so hot. Because, man, if we can run in this, we can run in anything. So, that's why it's so good and important to me. Although I hate it, right? I hate it right now that I'm running out here in this weather. But I know for a fact that when I finish and complete this run, I feel a lot better because I had pushed myself through this, through these uncomfortable scenarios, right? Because that's what it is. It's uncomfortable. It hurts. You know, it makes me tired. It gives me extra fatigue. You know, it makes me want to stop even more. It gives me the extra urge. But saying no to that, being able to handle it and withstand it, you know, that outstanding heat will make me better. It make me better than if it wasn't there. Than if, you know, it was just another normal day, or it was just around sunset, or nighttime, or early in the morning. Because it wouldn't be the same. The level of difficulty, although they can be, you know, quite subjective, at least to me, I know it'd be lower, right, if I didn't run out here at this time. So, and that's what you want to do, right? If you're a boxer, you want to box. Hey, what's up? And we got fans. Right, so if you're boxing and you want to be the best boxer ever, right, you want to box against people that are better than you. You want to raise the competition. You want to fight people that are better than you. And although, you know, you'll probably get your butt kicked, I know I am right now by this heat, but it'll make you better. Because if you would have fought a lower level opponent, right, and it probably would have been great getting that feeling of beating them easily, right, within a couple seconds of the first round for some. But you can say it's not worth it. The growth isn't there, right? There's not that much room for improvement when it's just simply, you know, a weaker opponent, someone not challenging you, not pushing you, not putting you through uncomfortable strain. You know what a higher level opponent would do. And, you know, for many too, I even remember the example of like Mike Tyson fighting in his later years, you know, against his other opponent. And you could say that Mike Tyson was one of the greatest boxers of his era, right? He had pretty much, you know, everyone that he fought, he was able to show up and give him a good fight. And most of them got their butts kicked by him. But now, you know, as a 50-something-year-old man, or 60, I don't know how old he is, but he's up there, he decides that he wants to go and fight again. He wants to fight Roy Jones Jr., who is still, you know, around the same age as he, but old as well. But, and you could say for both, not just Mike Tyson, you know, both were and still are legends, right? Kings of their eras. But, you know, them fighting now is a whole different challenge within itself. You know, they're older, their body's slowing down, they're simply beyond their years, and they have a chip on their shoulder. They have something to prove, you know, that they can overcome that challenge, because they, you know, are some of the greatest boxers that ever lived, right? They can step up to the plate and give you a good fight and probably beat whoever they're facing. And it wouldn't be the same if they were still, you know, fighting in their eras. It would just be another fight within the Tyson era, you know, in the 80s. It wouldn't be this whole brand new, you know, challenge, right? It won't be this unique and beautiful thing, you know, of him fighting now in his later years and making a statement that way.